Welcome back. Part 2 of this week's Concussion Protocol Podcast episode. We are looking ahead to the future. First, though, let's take a look at the past. It has been a wild, wild ride. This whole second half of the show all year long has been us calling the next week's games. And we have had a running streak of records. And I put everything I had into Georgia Tech this year. And much like Georgia Tech, I did so well for the first big chunk of the season and fell apart magnificently and miserably and embarrassingly at the end. In the most clutch moments, I couldn't keep it up. I could not finish. I couldn't get across the line. It was awful. So
he put all of his good vibes, his eye test, and leadership to the task and just couldn't get it done in crunch time.
I spent 12 weeks out in front, and in weeks 13 and 14, I fell back so far behind that Chase caught up, and now, where are we at, Chase? I'm going to let you take it over from here, because bottom line, Chance has won something again. And I'm really glad he's not on this episode because I'm pretty upset with him about it.
He has been voted off the island, which he did consensually to go to Cancun, which isn't an island, but still. Just for reference, Connor, I think 3 weeks ago, you were ahead by 4. You were ahead by 4. Anyone, by the way, you were ahead by 4 on everyone. And unfortunately, two of the last 3 weeks were negative records for you. And now the totals are in third place and second place is you and me. We are tied at 83 and 60 for our overall records. Chance is ahead by 3 games, 86 and 57.
It's that close.
Yep. At a whole season. Like, if you watch ESPN and their records, like, you'll see one guy going way ahead and one guy falling way back. We've been really close the whole season. We're only within 3 games are all 3 of us. So that's
and great. We all have a pretty good winning percentage too, I would say.
Especially because unlike some of those pick'ems in ESPN and those, they pick like every game. We're picking, for the most part, like 95% of the time, like 7-point spreads or less. There was occasionally a higher spread game, but it was more so because of either like an injury or something that made the spread or something like that. And some of them were still upset games too. It was like a 14-point spread that turned into an upset. We picked some tough games, and to come out even above 500 is a pretty good thing. But we're well above 500.
Let's please comment section. Please let us know how you think that we compare to the big dogs who get it wrong all the time. But what do we know?
But also, I just like to give a shout out to the Group of 5. I am now the king of Group of 5 because of last week. I was undefeated up until Ohio State choked. I was undefeated in my picks because Kennesaw State beat Jackson State. James Madison beat Troy. Tulane beat North Texas. Boise State beat UNLV. And Western Michigan beat Miami. I picked all 5 of the Group of 5 games. Did not know I had that in me, but I felt good when I got there. So I was riding, and then Ohio State let me down, which I'm okay with. So, and then the Duke thing happened.
Ohio State, right? If you had trusted the vibes of Indiana, then you would actually be in second place instead of tied with me.
Connor, you weren't there, but I literally said, Chance, if I pick Indiana, we know what's going to happen. We know I have to pick Ohio State because that's the only way they lose. And they did. So I take it. I'll take it.
You'll take it.
I'll take it. So love it. But yeah, very close records for a whole season. Can't wait for next season, honestly. I'm surprised it was this close.
All right. Well, let's we're going to kind of do this in 2 different segments. We're going to kind of do a playoff bracket that is purely just so we're going to take a little bit different approach. All season long, we've been actually trying to predict what will happen. We're going to mix that in. We're going to take off the punishments for this one, and we're just going to do it for the love of the game. The playoff brackets that we're picking are based on what we want to see. We are allowing manifesting. We are allowing vibes. We are allowing the eye test. We want to be rooting for the teams that we want to see do well. So yeah, we'll keep track of which picks we have, but it's not going to be part of the regular competition. So the bowl games, though, we are going to keep track of those, and we are going to call those as we think they're going to be. But we got some surprises for you as far as how they're going to count, how they're going to relate to the rest of things. So, Chase, let's go small to big. So let's do the bowl game picks first. This week's highlighted picks, and then we'll talk about the playoff a little bit.
All right. So Chance and I have already made our lists. Connor just wants to leave it to the wind. He's going to go off all vibes again like he's done all season.
All vibes,
what
baby.
A shot. So just to say, we are recording a bit late. There were some technical difficulties last week and stuff, so we are recording a little late. We did call earlier games. I think the only one we missed was that Boise State-Washington game, unfortunately. I think we all would have picked Washington, to be completely honest, but
I'm pretty sure everyone missed that game because I literally think there were like 800 people in the stands at that game.
Yeah, so it was a very early slated bowl game, but we did pick in the Salute to Veterans Bowl, Jackson State. All three of us picked Jackson State over Troy. I thought Troy might have stole it, but they lost their starting quarterback and running back to the transfer portal, so I picked Jackson State, and so did we all. Also, just finished, like about an hour ago, Old Dominion beat USF. We all did not pick them. That one was a tough one because there were so many opt-outs on both sides, and that's what we're going to see bowl season, unfortunately. But we missed that one. We all picked USF. We really wanted to see them go out on a high note, but it is what it is. It was a pretty good game. Questionable calls, but good game. And now...
Go to the previous episode for our rants about how terrible bowl season is because all these weak wimps are opting out of bowl games nowadays.
And they need to change the transfer portal stuff too. They need to make it after the season, and when the coaches aren't preoccupied with the playoff and all that needs to be changed.
It makes literally no sense. I mean, we should have brought that up too. There's literally no reason on God's green earth why the transfer portal should open up in December.
Yeah. We should.
There's no good reason.
We'll probably talk about that.
You're not even done with classes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week when Chance is back, because I'm sure he has.
Stay on subject.
And then last game is happening right now. I believe it's 20-13. Delaware's winning. Delaware versus Louisiana. Me and you picked Louisiana. Chance picked Delaware.
Delaware is the least clutch football team in America right now. I swear. I'm not saying Louisiana's that good, but goodness gracious.
Yeah, for this team, Louisiana has like 3 running backs that have pretty solid stats. They've split it up over 3 running backs. This game is basically their rushing attack versus the Nick Minakushi, like Nick Minakushi show. Like he is
that dude's a stud. Don't get me wrong, but they have nobody outside of him.
Stats wise, it's not even close. He's got like I think 3 times the quarterback of Louisiana's yards, but he's their whole team. So I was thinking, but you know they're. Oh, the thing's not loading, but yeah, I think it's 20-13. There's 3 minutes left. Louisiana is driving. We will see how that ends. But for our first pick'em of the bowl season before the game starts officially on camera. Bowl season highlighted picks. We still need that. We need the drum roll. We need that. Anyone in the comments, you want to give us a drum roll? You want to give us a little audio drum roll? We'll appreciate you. We'll shout you out too. We'll shout you out multiple weeks because we'd love the help. But the first game we will be picking is an exciting one. It is the Xbox Bowl. The not as good as PlayStation Bowl. Missouri State versus Arkansas State.
Go. How do you pick in this Clash of the Titans, man?
How do you pick in this game?
Was it the Bears versus the Wolves?
I usually know these team names. I believe the Red Wolves is Arkansas State. I don't know what Missouri State is. I think they are.
I could have sworn. I'm pretty sure Missouri State is the Bears.
I think they are the Bears. I think they are, but I will be honest. I do not know them as much as I know.
Arkansas State Red Wolves. If any of the 15 annual graduates of Missouri State can tell us what your mascot is, then let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we'll do a speed option for the smaller bold games, so we don't.
Is Arkansas State is that where Scottie Pippen played?
No, I think he just played at Arkansas, but maybe not. Someone in the comments tell us. No, I'm probably just gonna look at it.
Where did Scottie Pippen play? I could have sworn I could have sworn he had a growth spurt while he was in college, so he was relatively under recruited.
Central Arkansas.
Oh, Karst.
UCA. Yeah, I've.
But not State. Okay.
Yeah, University of Central Arkansas. The more you know. But anyway, back to the pickup. Missouri State versus Arkansas State in the Xbox Bowl. I will lead off with Chance's pick. Chance picked Arkansas State. I don't know his reasoning because he is not here.
Let's just so that he doesn't subconsciously influence us. Let's keep his picks last from here on out. But yeah, Arkansas State is probably what I would go with too. Just they're usually a slightly more competent team than Missouri State. Not saying much. The bar is low, but if I were to describe them out of 10, one would be a 3, the other would be a 2.5.
That's fair. It's harder in these bowl games. Obviously, there's a lot of opt-outs, and there's a lot of coaches getting poached, which is why I think Missouri State...
I don't think anybody's poaching the coaches from either of these programs.
Missouri State lost their head coach to Coastal Carolina, so he is not coaching this game.
Woo!
Which is why I'm taking Missouri State to get a revenge win because they're pissed off their coach to abandon them to Coastal Carolina just because their halftime show is way better.
All right. That's how that goes.
All right.
Time and time again.
Now we have a battle of champions between Conference USA and the MAC. This is basically the Super Bowl of which conference is the worst conference. So...
Toilet Kings.
Yeah, this is not to disrespect these teams. I watched Kennesaw State all year, and I watched Western Michigan once. I will give you that. But
you had a weird obsession with Kennesaw State.
Every Wednesday. I don't know what to tell you. They were on. I was watching.
They were on. Yeah. Just because they were on doesn't mean you have to watch them.
They were a fun team to watch, except a couple weeks ago against Jackson State. That was not a fun watch with all the interceptions and turnovers.
There's a lot of shows that are on certain days that I don't watch, Chase.
Yeah, shows, not football. You call yourself a college football fan? You're not watching the Wednesday games?
That's fair.
Anyways, Kennesaw State versus Western Michigan.
Go ahead, Chase. I feel like you have to back the Owls because you've backed them all year long.
I know.
I didn't think that the other Broncos, were going to do all that well. Western Michigan's one of these teams that they're 2-10 for 8 years in a row, and then they win their conference, and then they're right back to being at the dregs. It's like, who are you? Why do you do? It's kind of like how the Giants were under Eli Manning. They never win any of the games they're supposed to, and then they win the Super Bowl. And then they're right back to as average as it can possibly be. So I'm going to have to ride the vibes and think that they still got a little bit of voodoo left for whatever it gave them this year. So go Broncos. Some team named the Broncos has to be good this year in college football, but your Owls are doing something special this year, Chase.
Yeah, so I am 1-1 picking Kennesaw State because they played Jackson State twice. The first game, like I said, I watched it start to finish. They dominated. They truly dominated. But then they'd get to the red zone, and then their quarterback, who was a freshman, was like, you can have it, and threw 4 interceptions in that first game and lost to Jackson State, which Jackson State's a good team. They just beat Troy in their bowl game. They had a good season. They're all running, though. That is a rushing team. They live and die running the ball. Kennesaw State, they got a little bit of both. I'm riding with the Owls. I gotta. We gotta go positive in this records, guys. Kennesaw State, you've done it. Arguably, you had a chance earlier you lost by 1 to Wake Forest, and then you got blown out by Indiana. But who isn't getting blown out by Indiana? Come on. So I'm not gonna talk shit about that. But that Jackson State loss pissed me off. But you can make it up to me by beating Western Michigan, which I have no disrespect for because they did me a solid in crushing Miami, Ohio, and giving me another 1-up on Connor here. So I like them. But Kennesaw State. Also, I just feel like the bowl location, while there's not going to be that many fans in the stands of these bowl games, right? They are playing, this is the Myrtle Beach Bowl? Yeah, Myrtle Beach Bowl. That is not far from Kennesaw State in Georgia. Their fans are pretty crazy. They were national champions in the FCS not too long ago. I think it was 2016. They have a good fan. They have a thriving fan base. Western Michigan, you might have one too. Do I feel like you're going to travel to Myrtle Beach to support them? Maybe you want to have a good vacation where it's not freezing cold. Maybe they do. But I just feel like that might give them a little bit of an advantage possible with their fan turnout. So I'm going to give it to them. And Chance picked Kennesaw as well because he listened to me last week and it paid off for him. So
dang it.
All righty. Yeah, Myrtle Beach. Now, the big one. Memphis versus North Carolina State in the Gasparilla Bowl. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. Gasparilla.
Memphis versus NC State. That actually might be a good game if both teams aren't gutted.
Mm-hmm.
Two teams that really could have made and should have made a lot more noise this year with both the talent and the staff.
Yep. One of these teams had playoff hopes that they absolutely choked away multiple weeks in a row. The other team, really, their anything hopes were crushed in week 1. Not because it was such a huge game, but like you lost that 50-50 to Virginia, and then from there on, you were basically 50-50ing your entire season. I think they're 6-6. So yeah, they literally flipped the coin every game, heads or tails, and won half of them.
Screw it, I'll take Memphis. I'm probably going to regret this.
True vibes.
Well, you got to think in this North Carolina, they probably have similar amounts of transfers coming in and out, but it's much more likely that North Carolina State is playing their younger string because they might not get as many transfers in.
So
I think that if both teams were at equal strength, I would probably still pick Memphis. So, yeah, go Tigers.
You know, I picked Memphis a couple times this year, and they pissed me off. I don't like them anymore. They should have beat Navy. I don't know what was going on in that game. And then they shouldn't have beat USF, and they won that game. So Memphis has upset me, and I hate them. No, I don't hate them, but I think here's the big thing. Obviously, bowl games, opt-outs, transfers. I'll give you this. Memphis lost their head coach. He's going to Arkansas. He ain't there. He's not coaching this game. So that's going to hurt Memphis. Maybe they could have a revenge thing, like, we could win without him, and they could play out their bind. Who knows? On the other side, North Carolina State. They're arguably their best player, Hollywood Smothers. I know you remember that name. He's not playing. He is transferring, so he's gone. So it is both sides losing important pieces. What's more important, a star player or a head coach?
In a single bowl game, that's a toss-up. That's a coin flip, man. Hollywood Smothers is their offense.
I think they have another running back that can pick up the pace for him. I don't think he's going to put out the same output, but I think Memphis is just. I don't think their vibes are right at the end of the season. If we're going off vibes here, Connor. So I'm picking NC State, and I hate to break it to you, Connor, but Chance picked NC State too.
I am gonna be so far behind on this.
Or you'll be ahead. You never know.
Oh no, I don't
you
feel
love
good about
me bringing up the law of averages, Connor, but that's how the season turned out. You were ahead until you weren't. So you never know. You never know. All right. Now, actually, I'm not just messing with you. To the big games here. The first playoff game of the year. It's on Friday. It's kind of weird to see these two teams playing on a Friday. You'd expect it from like a Pac-12 team, maybe a Big Ten team, an ACC team. I can't really think of any times where I'm seeing SEC teams playing on a Friday. And
Because they're elitist.
And we're seeing Alabama going into Norman for the rematch of their lives against a team that has had their number, I think, in the last 3 of their 4 meetups.
Yeah.
But on the bright side for Alabama, the last time they played in the playoffs, belt to ass. But they had this like up and coming coach at the time. I think his name was Nick Saban. So that might change some things. So,
couple of things on this one. You might call it vibes, but I really don't think it is. There's a trend in the SEC this year of whoever is your daddy is going to stay your daddy. Georgia bucked the trend in the championship game, but that was the second time out of 10. That was a massive outlier. Oklahoma has been Alabama's daddy this whole time since they joined the SEC. And I think, I am going to be Boomer Sooner the whole way.
Thanks a lot, Connor.
I would think we're unanimous on this.
Connor, no, but here's the point, Connor. Every single game we have picked Bama. Every single Bama game that you have picked, you have lost.
Have I really?
Yes. Who'd you pick?
Whether
Vandy?
I pick them to win or lose.
Vandy or Bama? Who'd you pick?
I picked Vandy.
Mizzou or Bama? Who'd you pick?
I picked Mizzou.
Oklahoma or Bama? Who'd you pick?
I think I picked Bama.
We didn't officially do this one, but who would you have picked in week 1? Florida State.
I picked Georgia. I picked Bama to win.
Florida State or Alabama? Who would you have picked? Be honest.
Alabama. Or did I pick? Who did I pick in that? Did I pick Georgia in that conference championship?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So wait, no. Sorry, conference championship. In week 3 or 4 or whatever it was, you picked Georgia. They lost. And then who'd you pick 2 weeks ago?
I could have sworn I picked Georgia, but did I pick Bama?
You picked Bama.
Okay. Yeah.
You were literally like 0-6, 0-7 in these Bama games, Connor. And now you just picked the team that I was riding with in the Oklahoma Sooners. Why would you do this? I'm sorry, Sooners fans. I'm trying to get him to change his vote here. Oh.
Well, okay. We also agreed, though, that we're going to change this rule, and this is what you want to see. We're going to manifest it. We're going to speak it into existence. What we want to see. I want the Tide out, as does, in spite of what the media will tell you, as does most of the country outside of the city of Tuscaloosa. Nobody cares about Alabama. Nobody wants to see them in the playoff anymore. Go away.
Yeah. So, man, I'm so glad Saban's retired. If this was a history lesson, every time Bama squeaks in somehow, some bullshit ruling, whether it didn't matter what the format was. That's why this whole expansion thing's a farce. Is BCS, Alabama snuck in, even though they didn't deserve it. 14 playoff, Alabama snuck in over an undefeated Florida State team, even though they didn't deserve it. And here they are with 3 losses. They're 11-3, so it's not a true 3-loss season. It's a extra game 3-loss season. And they are bleeding. They have been bleeding since that South Carolina game. They have been just not the same team they looked like mid-season. They have not looked very good. They have struggled in every one of these games except Eastern Illinois. And yeah, I'm riding with trends. And Bama has been trending down all year. Oklahoma, they haven't been trending down. They've kind of been plateau. Their defense has trended up like crazy because they went from a team that couldn't cause turnovers to a team that definitely can cause turnovers. Their running game got a little bit better. And dude, Mateer, come on, man. Your hand's got to have grown a new hand by now. Like, it's been a long time. You got to be good to go. Just don't throw interceptions. That's how you're going to beat Bama, is just don't turn the ball over to them, and you're going to win. Like, your defense is better than Bama's. I know Bama's statistically has been phenomenal this season. But like, if you've seen the teams they've gone against, they have not been showing that great lately, especially against Georgia, against Auburn, against LSU. They arguably could have lost to LSU without their quarterback, without their head coach, without their offensive coordinator. Like, and at home, like, this is a very much trending down Bama team. This is probably one of the weakest Bama teams I've seen other than last year. This Oklahoma team is a better best defense I've seen on an Oklahoma team in my life.
A long time.
And they have the potential on offense to catch fire. They just need material.
They haven't been able to consistently show that firepower.
That offensive line needs to step up, and then Mateer just needs to not turn the ball over. And you're going to win. You're the better team. You're not as dominant and as much of a better team as Georgia was, but you're at home. You've controlled Bama for a long time. They're going to want this game back, and to make the last game meaningless, step on their throats, finish it, beat them. So I think it's just going to come down to defense, home field, and how the trend is going. So I'm going.
The only thing that's going to make me so mad is that Oklahoma wins that game, and then the Notre Dame fans will never, ever, ever shut up about it. We will hear 100 years of Notre Dame fans complaining.
Oklahoma,
although I guess they already are.
Oklahoma would probably beat them too, but we'll see.
Oh yeah.
So I don't care. They can cry all they want. Join a conference that doesn't suck, or at least make your strength of schedule better. That's all. You don't even need to join a conference. Just don't play shitty games. If you want to be a proud program of your team, don't play 3 games that matter and then 9 that don't. Like, everyone gives so much shit to the SEC for planning these lower tier FCS or group of 5 games. But Notre Dame's playing nobody all year. Ohio State played nobody all year, and it could have turned out differently if Penn State wasn't shit, right? But like, schedule better games, guys. Like, dude, it's just sad. Like, this one dude, one of the Notre Dame people in the comments a couple weeks ago, we were talking forever. There's probably 50 comments just from me and that one guy. And he was telling me that in a couple of years, if the things get signed, Notre Dame might actually have an awesome schedule. They might play, I think, Clemson, Florida State, Texas, and Michigan, like, all in the same season. And I'm like, please do that. Please. I would actually cheer for Notre Dame if they did this. Like, I'm not rocking with the Irish most of the time, but if they did that and they performed admirably, I'm absolutely advocate for that team. It's just truly your strength of schedule is weak, so I don't care if they cry about it. I'm taking the Sooners. Chances not. Chances.
He's the only one deviating.
Rocking with the Tide, unfortunately. Which historically and how Bama's like a cockroach, man. They're like a cockroach. So I see his point. Even though he didn't make a point to me, I can read his mind from here and I can see his point. But they need to be stepped on repeatedly, and I hope that this is the boot that puts them out of their misery. All right. This one's probably one of the hardest ones to pick in the entire playoffs. Miami going on the road against Texas A&M. Kyle Field. This one is a tough one, dude. This one's a doozy. Because I have to say this. If you took away their uniforms and just made them play in like a black and white uniform, like these are the same teams, bro. These are the exact same teams. You look at their stats, even. Like, you look at their stats. Carson Beck and why am I blanking on him? Marcel Reed. They have like the exact same stats. They both have trouble throwing picks in crunch time. They both have immaculate offensive line protection and a good defense, and still found ways to lose with those assets. They find a way to underperform in the big moments. They're both the same quarterback, really, and except one is more of a pocket presence, and the other one can use his legs. Although he has been trying to be more of a pocket presence this season. And then their defenses are spectacular. Arguably, Miami might have played some better offenses than Texas A&M did this season, just the way it worked out. But and also, historically, what happens when these teams get to big games? Miami,
both of them fall apart.
They both choke. These are literally like the most equal teams you could find. It's so hard to say in this one. This one is a really tough one to say.
What are you going to say, though?
Normally, I think the smart thing to do when you come into a game that is this close, you just take the home team. But Texas A&M showed that they could choke to South Carolina too. So oh my God. I think
Texas A&M is only in the playoff by the skin of their teeth, right? You want to talk about a bubble team. If they had not barely last second completed the most improbable historic comeback that college football has ever seen by one. People are forgetting that because the Texas game was so ugly. They only made it to 11-0 by the most razor thin margin. And if they had lost that game and then lost to Texas, there would be, hey Notre Dame. Guess who would have been in at that point, right?
Dude, I don't think they could because Texas A&M beat them. It would have been the same thing as Miami.
Imagine. Or I guess maybe BYU. I don't know. That would have been so chaotic. But this is a team that I can't put my faith in Texas A. And this is why I picked UTSA at the beginning of the season, because I so trust the Aggies so little. But I trust the Hurricanes equally little.
Yeah.
I don't trust either of them as far as I can throw them.
You know what I think the committee would have done if that was the case, if Texas A&M lost that game? They would have used Bama as the divider. They would have put Notre Dame in, and they would have used Bama as a divider to justify putting Notre Dame over the two teams that beat them, Miami and A&M. They would have found a way to do that. That's how I feel they would have done that. Luckily, South Carolina choked. So we didn't have that, but this is an interesting game. Oh man, I can't wait to watch this game. I really hope that there's mistakes made on both sides, but I hope it's super entertaining. The big question mark, and I will bring this up for your benefit, Connor, since I know you didn't have the time. Texas A&M lost both their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. They are both gone. So this is Miami, no opt-outs, no transfers yet, versus a Texas A&M team that lost both their coordinators already. So
it's at Kyle Field, man. It's a playoff game at Kyle Field.
Yeah.
First one. That environment is already one of the, I don't care what kind of year A&M is having, that is one of the hyped environments that sports has ever seen. And it's their first playoff game at home.
It's Miami's first playoff game, too.
I got burned real bad by not picking the Aggies before. I would so much rather see Miami win, just because I am always eager to see the SEC get a little bit of comeuppance. And I'll stick by my word. Go Canes.
You're taking Miami.
Texas A&M is going to fall apart, and their fans are going to cry. The Roadrunners couldn't do it, but the Hurricanes will. They're going to fall apart at home. They're going to be the first home team to lose a playoff game. It would be the most in-character thing for Texas A&M. SEC Shorts is calling it, man, every week. You're telling me 50.0001%.
Dude, it would be the most in character thing for either team to choke. It's just
I
in
know.
their DNA. That's why this is the most coin flip game, except there's 7 other coins you don't know about happening in the background. It's weird.
You gotta make a choice. What's it gonna be?
This game could have literally anything. There's the most potential for any type of just shenanigans. I could see Miami or Texas A&M going up by 21 and then choking the lead away and losing, or just going up and dominating.
Or I could see this game being 10-7. You know?
It could be. This is such a weird game. And Kyle Field is a tough place to play, and I think it would benefit my belief system better if I picked the Aggies and the Aggies won. But I think Miami has more potential. I think Miami just truly had to get their choke games out of the way. I think Carson Beck had to throw a couple picks to get the bad juju off, and now he can actually
get him out of his system.
I think Texas A&M is just fool's gold. Unfortunately, they truly got lucky to have played the bottom tiers and a very underperforming LSU team, and then lose their biggest game of the year to Texas in a very depressing way. Like it wasn't even really close.
That wasn't even a game, man.
Like, it was pathetic. So they're trending down. Miami's trending up just because they lost in the midseason. The ACC needs a win here. I'm taking Miami. I also think
the SEC is guaranteed at least one win in
also,
this first round.
The thing is, it also comes into my thoughts for next week is which one of these teams do I think actually has a better chance against Ohio State? And I think Miami has the better chance. But we'll see. I'm taking Miami, and we're unanimous. Chance picked Miami.
Chance has felt so bad about Carson Beck all year long.
He can't say any bad things about him. He said he can't.
He refuses.
And the second he said that, he goes and throws 4 interceptions
He's a man
against
of his word.
Louisville.
All right.
Ugh.
Bring it on.
All right. Okay, the rematch of the century. Tulane going on the road to play Ole Miss again. Ole Miss's first playoff.
Jake Retzloff, I'm happy for you that you finally get your shot at the playoff. No. I know that Lane Kiffin left. It's not happening.
Yeah.
You could play this game 10 times in a row. I don't see it.
It's the only way.
And you're going to laugh at what I'm going to say in the next pick, though.
Oh, my God, Chance. Oh, my God. There's no way. There's no chance is what I'm saying. There's no way. There's no way you're about to do that. Oh, my God. Anyway, to this pick, to stay on track. Oh, my God. Connor, there's no way. Anyway, Connor. Oh, you've been on Twitter. You've been on Instagram and Twitter too much. Anyway.
Trolls run the world, Chase.
The only way I could see Tulane taking this game is truly Ole Miss players just have to be absolutely demoralized. You have to have
they shouldn't be.
They have to be demoralized. They do have their offensive coordinator is coming back to coach for this game. So that should help because he's an amazing piece of that team. They still have all their players. Trinidad Chambliss and their running back Lacey is amazing, and their offense is amazing. And they destroyed this team earlier in the season. This is a scrappy Tulane team, but you get a very 50-50 Jake Retzlaff. You get either I'm getting benched before halftime, or I'm gonna throw 4 touchdowns and then decide not to play anymore in the second half. I don't know. Jake Retzlaff is an interesting case study, but I think you need everything and anything to go your way in this game for Tulane to win this game in Oxford.
Jake Retzlaff is easily going to go in the first 2 rounds of the CFL draft, and that's about it.
Yeah. Hey, he could get drafted in the NFL as Mr.
If Shedeur Sanders is in the NFL, then
he could be Brock Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant, who then gets on a good team and then goes to the Super Bowl.
If right now, I would start Jake Retzlaff over Ben Roethlisberger.
Right now,
I would. I'll take the hard stances. That's what we do on the show. Hot take. Call me on it.
Yeah,
I'd take Jake over Ben any day.
I would take Jake over Jason Pierre-Paul to throw the ball. Yeah, I would take that.
Would you really?
Yeah, since
you take him over Darren Sproles even.
Yeah, since Pierre-Paul is missing fingers, I will give it to Jake Retzlaff. But yeah, both these teams, unfortunately, because of the era we're in, are missing their head coaches, and they're going to play this game instead. But there's two games in here that are like 14-point favorites, and this is one of them. I'm taking Ole Miss. You got to win a game here and then make the next game interesting to keep your recruiting going well into next season. Otherwise, it's going to hurt. So, and Chance picked Ole Miss as well. He doesn't believe in Retzlaff. We'll hear it from his burner account.
No, and honestly, like it's not just all vibes. My analysis of this game is that Ole Miss at their worst, like assuming it's not a complete disaster, if Ole Miss underperforms a reasonable amount and Tulane plays to the peak that they have shown this year, I still think Ole Miss wins this game. I just do. I just think that Ole Miss is a far, far superior team, both talent-wise, coaching-wise, than Tulane. I don't see it. They're going back into Oxford. It's not going to happen.
No. Nope. It would be interesting. It would be very.
Would it be cool? Sure, but I'm not even that mad about Ole Miss.
It'd be Boise State, Oklahoma vibes there if that happened. But even worse because it wouldn't be a neutral field. It'd be on the road. But damn. Yeah, we're all picking the Rebels. So. And I can't. I'm gonna let you lead off because I'm truly dumbfounded at what you just said. Please elaborate on where we're going with this and how much brain rot has gotten to you this past week that you're gonna do what I think you're gonna do. James Madison,
100% vibes-a-palooza.
James Madison on the road at Autzen
Go
Stadium.
Dukes!
No fucking
Go
way.
Dukes into Autzen Stadium from where did they play? Were they in Virginia or something? James Madison,
Virginia, yeah,
yeah. Cross country trip, Alonzo Barnett. Let's go. No, do I think that that's actually going to happen? No. But I would love nothing more, and I'm going to speak it into existence. I like the Ducks, too. I got no problem with the Ducks. I want the Dukes to win this game so bad. It would be so good for college football. The Dukes are one of the funnest teams to watch in the country. They have one of the best stories of the last 5 years. And they are taking it exactly as seriously as the Sun Belt champion should take this matchup against one of the blue blood premier programs in college football. I love them, and I will root every second of that game for them until it's 35-0 at the half, and then I'll be like, hey, but you guys got your moment in the sun. Go Dukes.
Hey, Chance, sorry to bother you on your vacation, but Connor wants to tell you something real quick. I didn't call
Go
him.
Dukes.
If I wasn't bothering him on his trip, I would absolutely call him right now. God, Connor, how dare you? Oh man, it's hard to follow that up. You know, I do think that James Madison, if all the stars align, I do think that they could put up a good fight. I do think they could keep it close because this defense is a real defense. They have been good all year. They their offense kind of underperformed in that Sun Belt championship against Troy. I think Troy overperformed, quite honestly. They were playing a lot better defense than they had all season. But Oregon if it was a neutral site, maybe. But Autzen Stadium, James Madison flying, what was that, a 5-hour flight across the country? 6-hour flight across the country.
It's an hour and a half to get to Eugene from Boise.
To play Oregon, dude. Oregon would have to absolutely lay an egg, not even to make that pun. The Ducks would have to lay an egg. That would be the most embarrassing game.
Hey, Idaho almost did it last year. Granted, that was week 1, but still.
Week 1, there's a lot. Oh, dude, Connor. They also, James Madison lost their head coach, and they don't have an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator. Oh, no, sorry.
This one doesn't count. We're going off of what we want to see.
No, this is our highlighted picks, Connor.
I thought you said this one was just for funsies.
We're doing the bracket after this.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then go Ducks.
Oh my
Sorry, I got confused.
God, that I brought that up again.
Yeah, I thought that this was just based on
Yeah.
vibes.
I
Okay, all
misspoke.
of my other picks do stand though.
I misspoke. Okay, this is James Madison lost their head coach. Oregon lost their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. So
yeah, that's not going to make a difference in this one though.
maybe. Oh yeah, we just completely reneged on that and just completely abandoned
No,
all the
okay. I
vibes.
thought this was all a vibes segment.
No, this is the picks. We're doing the bracket afterwards. We could have
All
started.
right, all of my other picks still stand. Obviously, I don't think James Madison has a prayer, even regardless of it. They could lose Dan Lanning as well and still lose that game and still win that game.
This two-faced motherfucker. No. All right. Okay.
The Dukes do win the battle for the best social media team in college football.
Yeah, the feeds I've seen have been hilarious. I'm like, what they do, as close as much as it could be bad. I think Oregon stands a chance. Just
Oregon, they're these scrappy Ducks team. Like,
yeah. If James Madison looks ahead to Texas Tech, the Ducks have a shot.
They might have to rest a couple of starters. It might be an interesting game.
Yeah. This one is unanimous. I do think that Oregon is a little bit fraudulent this season. They kind of put
they got paired up against the Sun Belt.
They put up they put a little bit of that to rest when they dominated USC, but they were at home. I just felt like Indiana truly dominated them in their own stadium, and I think that was very indicative of where I think they stand. So there's a lot of people that really think Oregon has a shot at winning the championship this year. I will be honest, I think there's only 4 teams that could win the Natty this year, and they are in the first 4 seeds. So maybe someone surprises me. Otherwise, I don't think Oregon has a chance. I think they're worse than last year, and last year they got pummeled. So I don't see it. But maybe they overperform. We'll see. Maybe Dan Lanning's got some tricks up his sleeve against the big guys, but we'll see. But we're unanimous. Chance picked Oregon. I picked Oregon, and you, after seeing how you truly feel, picked Oregon.
After clarification on the rules of the game.
Yeah. Okay, we're now gonna pick the bowl games for Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll do the bracket that is just for fun. It's just enjoyment. It'll be a combination of vibes, what you want, and how you kind of feel. Even we'll let that feel. So, but
no consequences.
Yes, no consequences. Other than maybe if you go completely wrong, then maybe it hurts your pride a little bit.
All right, let's get these Monday and Tuesday games.
All right. Hey, in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, you could go to this game. You could see.
I could.
You could see the Cougs play against. What are they again? I think they're the Aggies. What's Utah State again?
The Aggies. They're the other Aggies.
Are they really the Aggies?
They're the other Aggies. There's New Mexico State, A&M, and Utah State.
Oh, so I knew it, but I doubted myself. Shame on me. Anyway.
Yeah.
Washington State versus Utah State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. It's basically like right in the middle of these two schools. So
yeah, geographically almost exactly the same distance apart. So, Lewiston or Pullman. Sorry, oh my gosh, I get some hate from the Palouse. Pullman, Washington, is an hour or two further away than Salt Lake City. Well, no, actually. They might be because, they actually might be the exact same distance because Salt Lake is 5 hours, but Utah State is like 2 hours past Salt Lake. So it's not that close. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. All right. Both of these teams are so bad, Chase. And nobody is going to be at this game. Well, actually, Cougs will probably show up. Cougs travel, man. Cougs will be where the Cougs are playing. Whatever. Go Cougs. I got no reasoning behind it. I'm not going to pretend to know the ins and outs of these programs. Go Cougs.
Yeah, so for me, I think it just came down to what these teams did against their competition. Utah State had a solid season in the Mountain West, playing against the Mountain West. They had an okay
Mountain
season.
West sucks this
Washington
year, though, dude.
State, however, while they had their choke games, obviously they lost to Oregon State in the first game they played against them, right? But they almost beat Ole Miss on the road. They almost beat a playoff team, ruined their playoff chances on the road. They almost beat the runner-up for the ACC, Virginia, on the road. Washington State has some potential. I think they have a much better defense than Utah State does, and I think that's what's going to be the difference here. But we'll see. The opt-outs, I believe, I looked at all of them, and this was yesterday or 2 days ago when I was doing my research, but the opt-outs were either even or they actually don't have that many in this game. So I think they're good on that. I think it's truly just going to be Washington State has a better defense, weirdly enough, and they'll win this game. And it's unanimous. Chance picked Washington State as well. So we're being a little bit Power 4 biased.
Well, it's not that hard when you're picking a mid-tier Mountain West team in the Mountain West.
Sorry, Power 5 bias. They are still part of that, right? Anyway, so Pac-12
they're gonna be in the same conference next year.
Pac-12 dominance. God, they need to realign some of these, man. I miss the Pac-12. Anyway, on to the next bowl. That was the only Monday bowl. Tuesday, we get 3. I think the one is at like noon. I don't think anyone's gonna watch that, but anyway, Toledo versus Louisville in the Boca Raton Bowl. A MAC team versus an ACC team, which is basically like the same conference at this point. So
I don't care who it is, just Louisville.
You got a lot of love for these teams, Connors. Yeah.
I don't trust the MAC. Against anybody but the MAC, I don't trust the MAC.
All right, well, I'll tell you, Chance also picked Louisville, and so did I. Toledo lost both their head coach and their defensive coordinator. Louisville, I don't think had any opt-outs, weirdly enough. And Louisville has underperformed towards the end of the season, choked their way out of the playoffs, but this is a easy game for them to take out their frustrations on a lesser opponent here. So I think they'll destroy Toledo here. Hopefully Toledo doesn't shoot off their missile that they have aimed at their rival, but we'll see. All right. The New Orleans Bowl, Western Kentucky versus Southern Miss.
Oh my gosh. What? Okay, flip a coin. Western Kentucky.
Wow. I can tell you really put your heart in.
Oh my gosh, these are two bad teams, but Western Kentucky typically has a more productive offense. The New Orleans Southern Miss fans will probably show up better, but
yeah. So I picked Western Kentucky. This is purely on bias that I watched Western Kentucky this year play in Baton Rouge and really make me really pissed off at my team. So we beat them, but only barely. So I know they have a decent team that is spunky. Southern Miss has some spunk to them as well, but I'm going to take Western Kentucky, and that will make it unanimous as well. Chance picked them. And our last pick 'em in the Frisco Bowl, another MAC team. Let's see. You hate the MAC, Connor, but who do you hate more, the MAC or UNLV? UNLV versus Ohio in the Frisco Bowl.
Bobcats versus Rebels. You know what, Dan Lanning? You earned it. You earned me believing in you one single time this year. No, didn't I pick them to win didn't I pick them to beat BSU?
No, you picked Boise State. That was one of
okay.
You had 3 correct picks last week. Or a week and a half ago, right? You picked Indiana. Nice.
Yep.
That was a vibes one. Weirdly enough, the vibes one got you one.
It wasn't a vibes pick. Go on.
Yeah, okay. You picked Boise State and you picked James Madison. The other 6 that you missed, you picked Jackson State, North Texas, Miami, BYU, Bama, and Virginia.
All right.
I do think you picked UNLV earlier in the season once, and they let you down.
Yeah. All right, Dan Lanning, or not? Oh my gosh, not Dan Lanning. Dan Mullen, take
Yeah.
it home.
All right. Well, I'll just tell you, it's unanimous. We all picked UNLV in this one. So
Yeah.
I
Again,
think
I don't trust the MAC except against the MAC.
if things would have went differently with some tiebreakers, I think Ohio's a pretty solid team. But I think UNLV kind of got screwed. I think they should have been in it against a different team. I don't know. Boise State didn't deserve to be in that game, but they got in and they won it. So kudos to them. But it was out some weird tiebreakers. So I'm going to give it to UNLV here.
Yep. All right. I do have to. I got to get going right now, man. I'm sorry. It has been a little too late. Can we do the playoff bracket next week?
We can't.
All three of us.
We can't because then the games are going to happen.
Oh. All right. Well, if you just want to, okay. If you want my picks for this playoff bracket, because I do have to wrap up.
All right. James Madison at Oregon.
James Madison, baby.
AMU. Bam at OU.
OU.
Spelled it wrong. Anyway. Tulane at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss all day. Easy.
And Miami versus Texas A&M.
The U. Plain and simple. Go all right, Chase. What you got?
All right. Well, we're just going to do the whole bracket because this is unofficial. No punishment.
Okay, I'll do the whole bracket then. So after that, JMU versus
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Yeah. We watched them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. Oklahoma versus Indiana.
Indiana, man. I like the Hoosiers, dude.
You are an unofficial Indiana fan, and it kind of I'll cheer for them against other Big Ten opponents, but I don't know. Ole Miss at Georgia rematch.
I want to see the Rebels do it so bad. I don't think they're going to. Oh, not without their coaching. That's the hard thing. Is not without their coach. Are they gonna they can't tie it together? Georgia's on a war path right now. God, I hate picking all the higher seeds, but yeah, Georgia.
Miami at Ohio State.
Just because just out of freaking spite. Go Canes. No matter how it goes, Ohio State loses.
If that happened, it would be hilarious because of all the people that were in the comments after Miami lost and were like, "Oh, I thought you said they were better." And they, you know how great it would feel to have Miami knock them out of the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
it'd be great.
Yeah,
all right,
let's go.
Texas
Just get the Buckeyes out of there. I hate them.
Tech in the third round, the semifinals. Texas Tech versus Indiana.
Oh, I want to see this game. I have been talking about this game all year long, this potential matchup. I so hope we get to see it. I want this game so bad. What I think will happen is the Texas Tech wins, but what I am going to manifest is Indiana. I honestly don't care. I wish both of these teams could win. I hope that this is just an amazing football game.
You're going to manifest the Big Ten to beat the only Big 12 team, Connor? You're like fighting against your own interest.
There's no way that they lose. I want Indiana to win because I want to see them win because I think that they're an awesome program. I like the coach. I like the quarterback. I love the story. But Texas Tech is a freaking good team, man. And I don't see many people being able to stop them. I really don't.
Except Indiana, apparently.
But no, okay, if this was the pick'ems, I'd pick Texas Tech. But because this is the no consequences bracket, I'm calling Indiana.
I can't believe you want Indiana more than Tech. Come on, the Big 12 needs some love, Connor.
I know they do.
All right. Georgia, Miami. Carson Beck versus his old team.
Georgia.
Wow.
That train stops rolling against Georgia.
And you're the magical national championship of your dreams, Connor, is Indiana. Sorry, I was probably far from the mic. The natty of your dreams is Indiana, Georgia.
The natty of my dreams would be Indiana Tech, but Indiana, man.
Oh my God.
Taking it home to Bloomington.
It'd be a great story. You'd have
college football runs through Bloomington, Indiana. If for nothing else than to just make Notre Dame fans so mad that there's a new name in Indiana.
How dare you?
All right.
Do you want to quiz me real quick, or do you want me to just do it by myself?
No, go ahead and run through it. What do you think?
All right. Do you remember the games? Can you just say it to me and I'll answer it, or do you want me to talk to myself?
JMU, Oregon.
Oregon. Sorry.
Are there any differences in the first round between the two of us, aside from Oklahoma, Alabama?
There might be. Let's just go through it. It's for the segment.
Okay, Oklahoma, Alabama.
Boomer Sooner, baby. Boomer Sooner,
All
baby.
right. Okay, I figured that one. Ole Miss, Tulane.
Ole Miss.
Okay, and then are you gonna flip, or are you gonna keep it? Are you gonna flip to Texas A&M?
No, I'm picking the Canes, baby.
All right, we're in alignment on the first round. Second round, that would be Texas Tech versus Oregon.
Texas Tech.
All right, Big 12 love. Then we got Oklahoma versus
Who?
not Ohio State.
Who's yours?
Oklahoma State. Okay, white and red versus white and red.
Yeah. This might ruffle your feathers there, Connor.
You're SEC bias, man.
Picking the
never
Sooners,
sleeps.
baby. No. It's the reasoning I have is that Indiana has been playing really messy, and that has worked in their favor in most of these games because Ohio State's a little bit more finesse, Oregon's a little bit more finesse. Oregon did get a little bit more gritty this season. I'll give them that. But Oklahoma is grit right now. They've been playing nothing but
grit.
that. They are comfortable in that game. They've done it all season. And that's why I think that Oklahoma with that defense could shake it up and make an upset. And I'm taking the Sooners.
That's very fair. That's entirely fair. All right, rematch. Ole Miss, Georgia.
Georgia. Blowout.
Okay. Fair enough. It happened the first time. Ole Miss is definitely weaker the second time. If it was pick'ems, I'd pick Georgia. Or I did pick Georgia. Yeah, I did pick Georgia. All right, then we got Ohio State versus Miami. All right, let's go.
Canes, baby. Choke fest for Ohio State, baby. Choke fest.
Back to the top. Texas Tech versus Oklahoma.
An old Big 12 matchup. What a beautiful
I wouldn't be mad
sight.
about this matchup either. This
What
would
a
hopefully
beautiful
be a really
sight. Two bananas defenses. Two crazy defenses. And I'm riding with the Big 12. Sorry, Sooners fans. I rode you for two games. Go
okay.
Texas Tech.
All right. Then
Rematch.
Georgia versus who would that be?
Carson Beck.
Georgia versus Miami? Yeah.
Georgia.
Okay, Georgia. I was about to say, man.
There's no way. Georgia's
their luck's
dominant.
got to run out.
Georgia's dominant.
All right, so you're thinking Texas Tech, Georgia. That would be a heck of a championship, dude.
Yeah. This is the teams that I think are going to be in it, to be honest. I think it's going to be Texas Tech and Georgia. If I were to pick who I want to win, I'd probably say Texas Tech. Sorry. The Dogs look dominant, dude. They made Alabama look pathetic. And, Texas Tech made BYU look pathetic too, but I don't know.
BYU ain't no Alabama.
Yeah. Georgia's certainly not a BYU, so
I hear you.
I'm taking Georgia. Go Dogs.
All right.
Back on top, Kirby Smart.
Okay. Well, the picks are in. The vibes are in.
You can head off. I'll do chances bracket, and then I'll do the same.
I got to get going. This has been my edition of the Concussion Protocol Podcast. We will let the field decide. Chase, close it out. I will see you guys on the other side of the first round of the playoffs. Talk to you all later.
Drive safe, bud.
Thanks.
All right. Welcome to the solo edition of the Concussion Protocol Podcast. I am your solo host, Chase. All right. We just have to do chances bracket since he is out of town. In the first matchup, James Madison versus Oregon. He picked Oregon. Big shocker. Bama versus Oklahoma. He picked Bama. Boo. It's fair. I could see it happening, unfortunately. Tulane versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss. I don't think you're going to have many people picking again the G5 teams right now. Unfortunate matchups for them. And then Miami at Texas A&M. He, just like all three of us, rocking with the Hurricanes, baby. Picking Miami. Round 2. Oregon versus Texas Tech. This game is going to happen, and it's going to be really fun to watch. He's rocking with Tech, though. He watched Tech just destroy his dreams 2 weeks 2 weeks out of the last, I think, 4 weeks, he watched Texas Tech crush his dreams. So he's rocking with Tech. Bama at Indiana. Pretty fun watch, actually. He's rocking with the Hoosiers. Ole Miss at Georgia in the rematch. Georgia and Miami versus Ohio State. He's not as fun as me. He picked Ohio State. Probably fair. Once again, I think there's only 4 teams that could win the Natty this year, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out on the field. If you guys disagree with me, leave a comment. Tell me what non-top 4 team can win the Natty this year, and we'll see. All right, and then the semifinals. Texas Tech at Indiana. He picked Texas Tech. Georgia at Ohio State. A rematch from, what was it? I think the 2022 playoffs. I think. Might be off by a year. A rematch. That was a really good game. Ended on a kick that, man, Ohio State, your kickers just are cursed, man. On a missed kick by Ohio State, Georgia wins, and Georgia goes on to win the Natty by, I believe, blowing out TCU, even though TCU beat Michigan that year. So both Big Ten teams go down in the first round. He's taking Georgia again in the rematch. So his Natty is Texas Tech versus Georgia. And unlike me, he has the heart for the Big 12, and he's taken Texas Tech to win it all this season. The first season where they got a true investment from their fan base, where they spent all their money on the transfer portal and their recruits, winning it all. That would be a crazy story, and I'd love to see it. I just feel like one of these speed bumps is going to get them, and I think Georgia might be the one that gets them. Regardless, if they make it to the end, making the Natty, that's amazing. So kudos. Kudos to these teams. I hope to see it go out one of these ways. These would be interesting storylines for sure. All right. This has been the Concussion Protocol Podcast. Just want to give a special shout out to all of our subscribers on YouTube. Like Connor brought up, I believe, in the last episode, we reached the 100 subscriber mark. We did it our first season without any help from any sponsorships, any boosts, anything. We just did it absolutely, like, just bare knuckled it and got it done. So we appreciate all you guys subscribing. We appreciate you guys in the comments, even when you disagree with me or whomever isn't commenting back. We appreciate the follows on TikTok, the follows on Instagram, the likes. We appreciate the likes on all platforms. They mean a lot. And then as well as the comments. The comments really help us a lot. So please comment, please like, please subscribe, share it. Share it on your platforms. If you really enjoy us or you want to support essentially the little guy, the small up-and-comer podcast where we're just going to try to get better every week and every year and make it more entertaining and more interesting every year. So we appreciate the support. We appreciate any future support we're going to get, and we appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, concerns, or feedback in any way, please leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys. We, once again, not to beat a dead horse, we appreciate you guys. This has been the Concussion Protocol Podcast, solo edition. And this is Chase signing off. Appreciate you guys.